Hey everyone, I am Dr. Brenda Whitehead at the Prof Chat channel, where we are all about maximizing college and minimizing stress. In this video, we are answering the question, what should I do on exam day? So to answer this question, I am sharing 15 tips, 5 for before the exam, 5 for during the exam, and 5 for after the exam. Now, I have put together a free PDF checklist with all 15 of these things there for you to mark off. If you would like to get that and print it off and have ready for your next exam, you can do that. The link is right below this video. So let's jump in. First, before the exam. And again, this is right before the exam. This isn't the whole studying process that should have happened already. If you want to talk about that, make sure to check out my video on study tips for exams. But in those hours before the exam, here are 5 things that I think are really important. First, rest. A good night's sleep or even a nap can do wonders for getting your brain in its best possible state for exam day. Second, eat. Your body and your brain need fuel, and you don't want a grumbling stomach distracting you or your classmates during your exam. Number 3, do a quick review. Flip through the textbook or your notes or those slides. This is not the time for intensive studying. That should have already happened. At this point, you are just warming up those well-prepared neural networks so that they can fire when they are called upon during the exam. 4, find social support. You and your classmates are all in this together. So having a pre-exam laugh or complaining session with classmates can go a long way to just kind of relieving that built up tension and stress before you walk into that exam. The 5th one is to journal. Now I know we're not all journaling types, but one study actually found that just taking 10 minutes right before the exam to write down your thoughts and your worries could bump your grade significantly. We're talking like B- to B+ type of bump. So maybe something to try. Now that we're prepared going into the exam, let's talk about what we do when we're actually taking it. So during the exam, 1, don't forget to breathe. Your brain needs oxygen. Don't hyperventilate. Take some breaths. You breathe in, breathe out. This also helps your brain remain calm and focused and keeps that stress from blocking your memory. Second, read each item carefully. Don't read the first 6 words and then think you know what's being asked. I can't tell you how many students I have had who totally knew the material and they answered something different. So take your time and read the whole thing before answering. Third, ask clarifying questions during the exam period. If you are unsure what you are being asked to do, then it never hurts to clarify with the professor to make sure that you fully understand what you are being asked. As professors, we want exams to reflect your learning. We don't want you to lose points because what was being asked wasn't clear. 4, do a final pass-through check. I have had many students either skip questions and then forget to come back to them or accidentally miss entire pages of an exam. And this is rough on the grade. So before turning in your exam or hitting that submit button, do a final pass-through check. Make sure you flipped through all the pages or checked through all the items to make sure nothing has been missed. Number 5, do not worry about others. We all go at our own pace. I have had the first person finished get the highest score on the exam, and I have had the first person finished get the lowest score on the exam. So pretend you are the only one in the room, do your best, and then walk out knowing that you did your best. The exam's over. You might feel great, you might feel not so great. So what do you do after that exam? First, take notes. Right after you're done, jot down what you think you struggled with and any questions that you might have, whether about the content or about the exam itself. It's really important to do this right away so that it's fresh. Now, this information can help you identify any holes in your studying and can also point to things that you can adjust the next time around. And of course, highlight questions you can ask your professor. Second, remember you are not your exam grade. It is tough to not take an exam grade personally. When it's low, it feels like we are a failure. When it's high, it feels like we're amazing. Separate your exam grade from how you are evaluating yourself and your worth. Use your exam grade as one piece of information about your learning and then move on. Growth is so much more important than grades. It's hard to realize that now in the moment, but if you can keep this in mind, it will make it so much easier to move along from exams that maybe didn't go as well as you had hoped they would. Third, find social support. Just like before the exam, finding your people after the exam can go a long way toward decompressing and relieving the tension or self-judgment you may be feeling post-exam. So maybe go to a movie with friends, go play a pickup basketball game, anything to get some social connection and get outside yourself will go a long way here. 4, find some perspective. This is kind of in the same vein as number 3. Right after the exam, it can feel like that exam is the only thing that matters. But one exam is such a tiny piece of the college experience, and college, in reality, is only a tiny piece of our lives. So acknowledge the disappointment or joy that you are feeling right after taking the exam, and then move on. Go get some ice cream, go take a run, go watch something silly. Whatever activity might help you get a bit of space from that exam will help here. Number 5, once you get your grade, go through your exam item by item. Which types of questions did you do well on? Which did you really struggle with? Were there certain pieces of the content that you really excelled in, but others that you just really bombed? Ask yourself why and strategize. Now, I always recommend, if you have struggled on an exam, that you do go talk to your professor and talk through that exam and talk about strategies, because every professor and exam is different. But if you aren't able to meet with your professor, I do offer some coaching options on my website, so you can go over there and check those out if you want to. And there you have it, 15 tips for that exam day. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already and tell a friend. I will see you all next time as we continue on this road to maximizing college and minimizing stress.